Hello, my name is Muhammad Ahmed. I'm introducing myself as one of the students of Robert Kennedy College, student of MBA. Leadership and Management is my major. My last module, which I'm doing right now, which is the final day, is today, is coaching and mentoring skills for success. And as part of criteria, I should be recording. I should have attached. I should attach some recording with my submission of the assignment. My assignment title is "The Value of Coaching and/or Mentoring to the Individuals." In this case, I will be focusing on recording myself as a coach in organization. In my organization name is X&J. X&J is a non-profit organization. It is present in Africa, especially in Eastern Africa, mainly based in Nairobi, Kenya, the capital city of Kenya. It is main work here is bringing awareness to the community and eliminating child marriage practices, which are very common in this East African region. There are forms of coaching, of which is either online coaching, face-to-face coaching, or telephone conversation coaching. So I have decided to choose my form of coaching delivery to be online. And to begin with, I will give a brief definition of coaching itself first. Several and different authors defined differently and defined in different ways coaching itself first. To begin with, the first, according to Grant, 1999, professional coaching is systematic, theoretically grounded, and a goal-directed process that is designed to facilitate sustained change as well as intended to foster the ongoing self-directed personal coach growth and learning. On the other hand, Spence and Grant, 2007, defined coaching a collective nexus established amid a coachee and coach, with the sole purpose of both personal as a professional outcome attainment, which are valid by a personal, which are valid by the person being coached. Uh, Grant 2012 also defined in a different way again coaching as a goal-focused pursuit and added that the client shows up for coaching because they are faced by an underlying problem that they need solved or set goals. They need solved or set goals they look forward now to attaining, and thus they look for help in the effort to enact and construct a solution to the problems they face. Coaching itself is a process that is limited to a specific period that supports individuals, teams, or groups in acting purposefully and appropriately in the context that they in the context that they find themselves in, and therefore the coach supports clients in uh, in achieving improved self-management skills, greater self-awareness, and increased self-efficiency, efficacy, sorry, To that, they develop their own goals and solution appropriately to their context. Uh, According to Grant and Harris 2013, there are three techniques of coaching. These are skills coaching, performance coaching, and developmental coaching. On the same note, I have also identified 6 key skills for effective coaching, or first skills being listening. Understanding that what the colleagues need help with and that their personal development objectives will help you tailor your coaching approach specifically to each individual. The second one is question and converse. Asking an open question that don't simply have a yes or no answer is crucial to this. Sometimes asking questions and encouraging conversation can enable staff to find their own answers, which is empowering and a confidence boosting within itself. The third one is reflect. This is now build a relationship or trust by reflecting your own understanding of what a team member has already shared with you. Do so by paraphrasing and summarizing what you have heard in your own words. And the fourth one is recognizes strengths, noticing that an individual's strengths and capitalizing on these is far more effective than zoning in on weaknesses. Recognizes what an individual's strengths are that relate directly to their role as well as their broader skills. Now, focusing on improving existing skills even further will give employees a boost. If individuals also need to learn more in different areas, they will feel so they will feel so far more receptive to this after. Their value is positively reinforced. First coaching is an ongoing process and it takes time to build rapport and trust in ways like this. The fifth one is challenge. Being the key, challenging staff is to do so constructively. Do not focus on what the individual hasn't done and instead discuss tangible ideas that they feel excited about. Challenging people in a constructive way will make them want to go away and do something new or different without delay. The sixth one is make it real. Whatever we have discussed above and all those coachings, make it now real. Coaching is more than having a feel good conversation, which can quickly be forgotten with the day to day demands of work. It is therefore important to find a way to translate the ideas discussed into real life. This could mean forming them in an employee personal objectives or setting a future date to revisit now the conversation and track progress. Effective coaching requires a delicate dynamic of empowerment, knowledge sharing, and trust to be established between a coach and an individual. To get it right, the coach need a good style of approach. By striking the right balance of interpersonal skills and the practical application of a useful coaching techniques, which is the key. Getting it right ultimately furthers personal development, instills trust-filled working relationships, and, and it gives individuals the confidence to take on a new challenge. Now, when coaching, there are forms of coaching deliveries. Coaching can be delivered in numerous forms, such as face to face, via telephone, or maybe an online if need be. In this case, in my case, I have chosen an online form of coaching delivery due to the current COVID-19 health directives and measures in every country has introduced. And in my case, I am currently in Kenya. However, I'm Australian. I enrolled my course from Australia, but now I'm currently in Kenya. And I am obliged to follow whatever directives and measures has been put in place by the Kenyan authority. I will now come to the start of interacting my coachee. My coachee is Mr. YY. Mr. YY, for him to be a coachee in this recording, I have asked the YY's permission, and I have also made it very clear that these recordings will be made available for my tutor, a moderator, and maybe an external examiner, for them to watch or listen to it depending on the form of coaching I have chosen. Making it clear the availability of the recordings, Mr. YY agreed with me and was confident of the recordings. Our form of communication was online, and below are the content of our recordings. I have emailed Mr. YY asking some of the questions, getting answer back, paraphrasing in the coaching the way it's supposed to be. And my first question was, what is the child marriage rate? How big of an issue is child marriage? Now, the specific answer given to me by Kochi Mr. YY is, I will use abbreviation of the country names that T and A as stand for the country without mentioning the name of the country. And give me the statistics of child marriage rate. Mr. YY gave me the answer whereby he says 23% of T and A girls are married before their 18th birthday, and 4% are married before the age of 15. 3% of boys in TNA are married before the age of 18. TNA has the 18th highest absolute number of women married or a union before the age of 18th in the world, where it says 580,000. Child marriage rate in TNA varies across the region and among ethnic groups. Child marriage most common in northern part, which is 56%, followed by the coastal part, which is 41%, followed by a middle central part, which is 32%, and according to 2017 UNICEF study, 64% of girls of one of the regions origin got married before before reaching the age of 18, followed by 54% of another region, 38% of another one again, and 28% of another region C again, 38%, and for 14% of boys got married before reaching the age of 18. I again happened to ask, are there country specific drivers of children marriage in this country? Being very aware of what is happening within the region where we are, Kochi, Mr. YY gave me this answer. Child marriage is driven by a gender inequality and the belief that girls are somehow inferior to the boys. In TNA, child marriage is exacerbated by several factors. First factor being poverty, level of education, harmful traditional practices, and female genital mutilation and cutting FGMs. Giving me a detail of why poverty, Mr. YY described to me girls living in a poor households are twice as likely to marry under the age of 18 as girls in higher income households. A 2016 UNICEF report study shows that girls are often seen as asset or as an economic burden rather than individuals with rights. Further from the most impoverished communities, will arrange the marriage of their daughters in an exchange for a pride well that they can compromise cattle, camels, and donkeys. Coming to the level of education, Plan report that TNA girls who drop out of the school for any reason are more likely to end up married. Some parents reportedly withdraw girls from schools and marry them off as soon as menstruation period starts. Now, what is the harmful traditional practices in this case? Within some of the regions in the country of T&A community, biddings is a harmful traditional practice whereby a close family relatives will approach girls apparently with some kind of symbolic regional beads and place the necklace around the girl's neck. This signifies a temporary engagement of the relatives and the girl, and the relatives can then have and the relative can then have sex with her. Some girls are beaded as young as 6 years old, and it's estimated that 3 in 4 girls in the age of 8 to 12 age group are beaded. Beading is recognized as a form of child rape under CEDAW. The other one is female genital mutilation and the cutting, of which we call in initial form FGM/C. While the national prevalence of FGM/C is 21% in some communities, it is near and universal. It is near and universal. Now, for one of the regions, some of the tribes, let's say C, D, E, and F, FGM is seen as a sign of readiness for marriage and generally occurs between the age of 9 and 17. Girls who have undergone FGM attract a higher breed price compared to those who don't. The other one is adolescent pregnancies. Child marriage is seen as a safeguard against immoral behavior and the ultimate protection from male sexual attention. In some of the area, married, pregnant daughters to protect their family status and name, and to receive both dowry and penalty payment from the man responsible for the pregnancy. Children is respected more when their mother is married. That is one of the main culture among those communities. There is other authority failure, whereby there is no authority that will enforce law that will restrict actions of the community. In short, we can say poor law enforcement. While the Children's Act prohibits child marriage, authorities do not see it as their job to prevent birth and marriage. Registrations are rarely produced or verified. The point of marriage, case of child marriage taken to court for prosecutions and delayed or not even completed. Because of the corruption, it must be delayed. Case must not be finalized. Community and religious leaders also resist the enforcement of the law. There are other ways girls escape again. Some girls enter marriage to escape strict and controlling parent orphanhood and negligence from carers. Humanitarian setting cannot encompass a wide range of situations before, during, and after natural disasters, conflicts, and epidemics. That's an answer given by me by Mr. YY. But there are also other natural disasters and climate change brought condition deteriorated in Kenya, one of the neighbors of TNA, resulting in a couple of millions and food insecurity people requesting humanitarian assistance. Uh, for me to record my final submission of my clip here, I will therefore give it a name called recording of, I will call it of recording of the recording of my final assignment, and I will attach with my paper. And this is me, Muhammad Ahmed, and that's my final recordings.